Okay, just a short update. I was hoping to get this working by this weekend, but I went and broke my central core because the laminations were too tight for the central part, and I filed them out of it. But in my frustration trying to get them into the central core, I've actually got them in. I don't know if you can see. The cores are actually in there now on this one end in the middle, right? You can just see the metal parts down there, look. Now, but I broke my pillar, the space that holds the ball bearing. Now, that's not a big issue. That's not a huge problem, but I don't like the fact that I've broken my core, which I'm going to have to replace because it looks messy. Obviously, I've got more of these. Just a minute. Right, I've got more of these. This is the same as the one that's on there now. But ideally, these are going to be widened out a bit because if you look at the back end, you can see that they are pretty tight. And the laminations, if they're just slightly a millimetre or half a millimetre deviation when you're pushing them in, it breaks off these little pieces because they're not very strong. And it snaps them off, and I ended up with a pile of them on here. Now, because of this little setback, it's going to be a little bit past the weekend now because I've only got one side with the steel in, and I've got to replace this end here, and this is getting pretty heavy now. I have been doing some tests and static tests. I'll show you what I mean. Hang on, let me just get my magnets out. So, what are static tests? That is when I have magnets biasing them on the ends. So at the moment I'm biasing this with north, south, north. Now this side I've got laminations in the middle of this end, but this end isn't done yet, but I've still put biasing on this side. I'm only using about 3 magnets and 2 ceramics. Just the ceramics are simply there just to protect me from shattering my neodymiums if they crash into anything, because the neodymiums are much more fragile, can break much more easily than the ceramics. I'm not worried about it breaking the ceramics anyway, the cheap magnets. Now, when I've got this biased, now this is the way, basically, if you think about this, these as rotor magnets. Now, there would be 3 rotor magnets engaged on these ball bearings at any one time as it's rotating. Now, the actual switching is working very well. I've got some nail clipper things here. I just put this on here. Let me just see if I can get this on camera. Right, this clipper thing is actually on it's got a spring on it. It's kind of springy because of the way these clippers are made. But now, if I just put this on here and get this on there, you can see north is pulling this clip. So north is actually on, south is a bit over there, and it's not on. You can see there's no resistance, but this one is. Right, actually another interesting test, just a minute. Right, I've stuck 2 ball bearings onto the North Pole laminations right now, and as you can see they're quite happily sitting on there. If I reverse the polarization by taking these magnets off, you'll see, ooh, if I can do this with, God, I'll have to hold this thing and hold my camera at an angle if I can do this. Oh, ball bearing's fallen. I'll rotate it slightly. Now let's just take these magnets off this other end, see if I can do these without them jumping all over. Now, this should jump to the south pole. I'm going to rotate these magnets around. There we go. They've dropped down now. They've gone down to the south, which is just below it. So they're actually on south now, these 2 ball bearings. Now let's just flip them back to north. The reason I'm using ball bearings is because they roll and they're a lot easier to gauge and test than something flat. Right, now I'll put them back on north. Now, they should roll. Actually, oh, they've fallen off. They should actually go north now. Yes, well they do, but they're rolling about, roly-polies, and you want to sort of sit in the middle. Anyway, Yeah, there's definitely, as I said, this side hasn't got cores in the middle yet on this end. Well, let's just do it with one ball bearing for now. As you can see, it is actually sticking to the North Pole. It's actually quite happy to sit on that, but as long as it's balanced on it. It's better if I set it upside down, really. But how do I film underneath? That's the trick. I'll just put this ball bearing down here. North should be. Let's see. That should be north. Oh, I've gone to the edge now. That's not good. Just a minute. Okay, it's actually sitting on the North Pole lamination right now. How can I hold that camera up? I need something heavier to pop my camera on. Oh, sorry about this. I have to use the Astro. You do have a purpose after all. Okay, right, now if I flip these magnets around on here, I can't get this on camera. I'll take the ones off the other end first, actually, because that's not really. Take them off on the other side, because the main one is on the right now. Now, when I take these magnets off, that should basically drop to the deck. I'm going to put the rubber band in the middle there. It should fall off. Oh, yeah, it's falling off. Now, if I bring it to the South Pole, it should stick to the South Pole now. Oops, damn it. Oh, let me just. Where's the South Pole? Okay. These ball bearings are pretty heavy, actually. Oops. Okay, I give up. This video is going to be really long again, and I'm not going to mess around. 7 minutes already. I'm trying to make a short video, actually. Oh, dear. Anyway, it's working. I've been doing tests with my, let's see, with my nail file. South is on right now. North, which is the next one. Well, that's off-ish. I haven't got the other biasing magnets on the other side, so that will be pulling a little bit. And that's south, and that's pulling. So that's on. Yeah. Anyway, I've just basically got to file out these. I'm going to have to take these end things off. I'm going to stick my laminations in and see if I can reseat these things which hold the ball bearing in, really. And I'm just annoyed that I broke the other one. I could easily make more of them, but I'm just going to file them out a bit more. I'm going to file these slots out a little bit wider so that we don't have as much risk of snapping them off. And I just don't like the look of it when they're broken and it looks tacky. Okay, right, thanks for watching.